Hello everyone and welcome back to another Shri FC, another transfer special. People, before I start, I know it's gonna sound he's an idiot, but guys, likes are important for the algo to work, so please do hit the likes and subscribe if you haven't. And also, people, I hope you all are well and you're good, you're having some great days. And now it's time to discuss the Premier League transfers. We all know the Premier League is going in a fantastic way right now. Transfers, the amount that are going on are insane. The news, the battle this season we are going to see. Is it going to be a new top 8, top 9, or is it going to be top 6 restored? Who is going to be in the top 4 and top 6? A lot of that is going to be decided by the transfer market. We know Harry Kane going to Bayern Munich. We know Jordan Henderson and Fabinho being linked to go to Saudi, and Chelsea were called conspiracy, but this is going to be an unbiased show. And Onana to Manchester United really heating up. And then you've got Solomon joining Tottenham Hotspur, Caicedo saga, Arsenal news, and a lot more people. So now we're going to start. Bilal Bhai is going to join us sometime. So do go in the description to his link and subscribe to his channel. He puts out some great content. And please, guys, do not forget to hit the likes and subscribe. It really means a lot. We have a lot to discuss today. It's a Premier League transfer special, people. Please make it special. And please join and do like and subscribe. So now, first of all, people, we have some massive news to discuss today. And the first news story to discuss, people, is regarding Andre Onana from Manchester United. And I'm waiting for the Manchester United fan to join me in Bilal Bhai. But before, I'm going to give my opinion. And big up to Bhaga Bra. He came on the channel before in the Arsenal show. You can go and watch it. It was a fantastic chat with Bhaga Bro. So I hope, bro, you're very well and very good. And bro, today I'm guaranteeing you Chelsea fans are gonna have a whole lot of eyes on Kai Havertz to make his failed compilation. Not me, but I think a lot of Chelsea fans are gonna be Bhaga Bro, and we know that's the part of football and social media. So coming on to Andre Onana, and I discussed it in the video as well. I think this is a signing which is gonna transform Manchester United from the side they were last season to this season. I think it's a transformative signing. It was a fantastic signing. For me, Gagro did not see a lot of it, but for me, to be really honest, Chelsea fans should really go away from it. We were making Mason Mount fail compilation. Like, it's a pre-season. Like, really, it's a pre-season. There's no point in going after play like that. Now, Andre Onana, a lot of fans have been really putting on comps of Onana fail. I think that's not the way it works. These players are some fantastic players. Everybody make mistake. In a comp, you can make a player look like Lionel Messi, and you can even make player look like the worst in the world. But for me, being very, very honest, Andre Onana is a transformative signing for Manchester United and what they really want to achieve. Last season, whenever I saw Manchester United, guys, I'm going to be very, very honest, they were not able to play out from the back. Like, I knew from the first instinct, the coach will demand from his team to press David De Gea, so he clears long, their team wins the ball back, and United lose the possession. It was so easy and so predictable. And when David De Gea tried to change his proper way of playing, he tried to be a bit more dynamic, charismatic. He made error after error after error after error, which did not make the centre backs feel a lot good. I respect David De Gea a lot. He's a goalkeeper I've always admired, and a goalkeeper who is a fantastic shot stopper and a legend for Manchester United and the Premier League. But I cannot deny the world has gone modern. And Bilal Bhai, the Manchester United fan, is in the chat. And Bilal Bhai, first of all, how are you? We are already discussing on Manchester United Onana. So do tell us how are you, and how do you feel, bro, about Onana being close to joining Manchester United?
हेलो हाउ आर यू? आई एम फाइन. अच्छा, मेरी वॉइस ज़्यादा वो तो नहीं कर रही, एको वगैरह?
Yeah, but there's a bit of background noise.
वो फैन की वजह से. फैन बंद कर दूं?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. I'll do it.
So, guys, till Bilal Bhai solves it, I'm just going to talk about Andre Onana and what he provides. For me, he's going to be a player that really helps Manchester United play from the back. And he's going to be a player that really eases the pressure on Lisandro Martinez and Rafael Varane. I think this is sometimes what you need. Now, Lisandro is a very good player from the back. Rafael Varane is a very good player from the back. But the pressure sometimes can even get to the best of the player. When you know the goalkeeper cannot play from the back, the players won't be able to express themselves. And what's the implication of Onana on Lukaku? I don't think that's a lot. I think Inter Milan really want Lukaku. And I think first Chelsea were trying to put Lukaku in a deal to sign Onana. But I think Bhaga Bro it's happened that Onana has rejected Chelsea. For playing under Ten Hag, I think he's rejected Chelsea. And now Onana is going to go into Manchester United. So coming on to Manchester United fan Bilal Bhai, we know, like, David De Gea was a goalkeeper, like you can say, for a long time now for Manchester United. Like longevity has been there for a long time. But we also knew the struggles you had last season to play from the back, Maguire, David De Gea errors and everything. So coming on to Onana, how much transformative signing do you think Bilal by this is, and how can this change your season ahead?
So hello and thank you for inviting me on your channel.
Absolute
And
pleasure.
definitely, I am very much excited and very much happy that Onana is coming. That's a bigger upgrade. Although I know the way we all know the way David De Gea has left United, that shouldn't been done. United in the past few years have not been respecting their legends properly. What happened to Ronaldo? What happened to David De Gea? And these legends. David De Gea was one of those players who always tried to save our sinking ship, always tried to do something extravagant for Manchester United, always respected the badge, and definitely he was one of those players who would eventually uh, be going down as the legends of Manchester United. And nobody would deny this fact, because yeah, I know recency bias is has played a part in the Manchester United fans' hearts as well. The new fanboys who think that uh, uh, short stopping is not a key importance in this. But in Ten Hag system, short stopping alongside you have to make the game. You have to play from the back. You have to involve the goalkeeper. And Andre Onana is that upgrade from of David De Gea. I think the one thing that that separates David De Gea and Andre Onana is not their short stopping ability; it's their playmaking ability. And definitely that is why in Spanish squad as well, he's not been called up in the Spanish squad as well, David De Gea, because of his. Although he's been one of the best short stoppers in the world at this point of time, even in his prime, even he was very good. But I think Andre Onana is very much bigger upgrade, and I think this deal should have been done 2-3 days earlier. But we all know United are lethargic in these transfer negotiations. I think Anthony Langa's transfer negotiations have started with Everton as well. So United try to do things one at a time, and if they do one at a time things, they will eventually succeed. But if they carry something like Anthony Langa deal, Rasmus Holland deal, uh, mixed plate, so they would eventually not do great in these signings. So eventually, I think Andre Onana should be the first man to come. Then Elanga should go, and then Rasmus Holland United should target him, and then probably if they want to Sofian Amrabat or someone like that. But Andre Onana, coming back to Andre Onana, he's been a brilliant goalkeeper. He has played from the back. He can do he can pass it to Lisandro Martinez. He can cut the press, that striker press of honestly, he has been one of his interviews in which he told that I do not fear Haaland. And even Pep himself has said that Andre Onana before the Champions League final, he said that Inter have that goalkeeper who can play from the back, who is fearless, who can cut the press. And eventually he
Yeah.
did really good in the Champions League final as well. That one goal would eventually separate things, and eventually we all know that
Hmm.
in the finals, one goal, one moment of wonder eventually separates things between two teams. But you not deny the fact that Andre Onana has been one of the best goalkeepers for Inter in the past few years in the Serie A as well. So I think that is very good signing. 45-50 million, it would be really good for
I
me.
think for me, I fully agree. For me, Bilal by like the thing you said, I think the making the passes, the cutting passes, I think this is the one where David De Gea lack. Like for me, when I used to see David De Gea, I love David De Gea, respect David De Gea, but I think the problem with David De Gea is you can pressurize Manchester United to absolute bits. He'll give the ball away and the possession will be retained. And many people complained Ten Hag is playing a counter-attacking system, but you can only play a possession-based system when your team is good technically. Now with Onana, suddenly the pressure on Lisandro, suddenly the pressure on your Varane is very less. Suddenly Luke
Yeah,
Shaw
see,
has less
we
worry of the keeper
tried
behind him.
we tried in the first two. We tried in the first two matches. We tried against Brentford, against Brighton, but 4-0, 2-0. We conceded 4-6 goals in those two games, so we couldn't do anything. David De Gea, that dreadful mistake against Brentford, in which he passed on to, I guess, Lisandro Martinez probably, and he didn't knew that the player was being pressured by the opposite number, and eventually that led to a goal. So this showed that David De Gea's ball playing
Hmm.
abilities are piss poor. That should be
I
a
think these are
fact,
very
and
poor.
that
Like
is really a fact.
for me, if I was an opposition manager, just an example, I will tell to my team to press David De Gea to absolute bits so that under pressure he gives the ball back and the possession is retained. When you play teams like Manchester City, where you are going to be under the cushion for the most of the game, you need a goalkeeper which can help you play from the back so you can regain some possession and make that passes. When you see Liverpool, how many times has Alisson taken the ball in his feet, put a long goal kick straight away to Salah, found a great diagonal pass, and suddenly Salah on a counter attack with two Liverpool players and two defenders of the other team, and Liverpool score a goal. Onana can do that. I can see next season I will come here on this show and say, "Oh my God, Onana makes a fantastic pass to the left to Rashford. Rashford cuts inside and scores a goal. Manchester United win the game." And I'm going to say this a lot times next season. Onana diagonal passes to Rashford. That's going to be good. Not for me as a Chelsea fan, but I think for you, Bilal Bhai, is going to be great. So, Bilal Bhai, before we go to the next news, your final opinion on Onana and how much do you think that increases expectation for your team next season?
No, honestly, that increases much more expectations. And if we sign a ball, like we have signed a ball playing midfielder in the face of Mount, he has been brilliant in his first game. I've seen his game, and he was really good. Although people would say, and there are memes on Twitter as well, that the next shows, or I don't want to say those memes, but eventually he's a very very good ball playing midfielder, and him and Bruno would be really really fantastic. Both are pressing high up the pitch, both love to press high up the pitch. And if we get one more attacker, if we get one attacker in the face of Rasmus Hojlund, I've seen his playing style, I've seen everything which he does, Rasmus Hojlund, and he is a very very good number 9, and he can operate very well. Him and
But this is the
Andre
news coming out.
Onana's
This is
links, like
like
honestly,
Bilal
these
Bhai.
situations, like so many times we have been caught on the counter.
Hmm.
Yes,
But I
yes.
think the news regarding Hoyland that you were talking about, this is by Ayush Bhai, big up Ayush Bhai. Atalanta are asking for 100 million for Hoyland, and then, so what do you think in this before we move to next news,
No, no,
Bilal Bhai? Like,
it's not that confirmed.
Bilal Bhai, your voice is not coming. So, guys, going on to this one, I think on Onana we've discussed a lot in this video, and on Andre Onana, I'll again
I
and again say
think
I think he's going to be, yeah, now he's fine, absolutely,
I
Bilal
think
Bhai.
it was my net who was buffing.
Yeah, yeah. So now your final point on Onana.
So Rasmus Holland,
Hmm. So do you think you should pay 100 million for Rasmus Hojlund?
no, I think
Bilal Bhai, yeah.
I have not really got those news about it's 100 million their asking price. I think that was above 65-70 million, and I think that even doesn't make sense for Rasmus Holland, who's not been. I think I was reading. I think he has scored 8 goals or 9 goals in his first 2 years. I don't know. I'll study him perfectly because I've just seen his videos and I've seen his playing style. I've not seen his stats actually. So I'll make a video on him, and when the transfer saga comes around, then I'll make a video and say what are my opinions. But 100 million, I think, would be very very poor, a poor decision from
Hmm.
United. It would have been Vlahovic or probably Kane. We should pay him, but at this point of time, I think Rasmus Holland deal, I guess personal terms are agreed at this point of time, and
Hmm.
if it is a 60 to 65 million deal, it is a an 8 on 10 deal for me, 8 on 10 deal for me,
Hmm.
and eventually it would be very very good. He's a very good attacker and young as
But I
well.
think the
And
only
the history of United in the last few years is that the history of United in the last few years is that United have signed all 30-year-old attackers, and the last one was Wout Weghorst,
yeah.
30 years old, Ronaldo, 36
Before
years old,
that, I believe it
Edinson Cavani,
was
36 years old,
Malo.
and yes,
Your voice again, Bilal Bhai, was getting a bit.
Odin Igalo, yeah.
So taking a bit of chance here,
Odin
people,
Igalo,
before we move.
and eventually a 20-year-old striker mean that United.
Your voice is buffering, Bilal Bhai. Your voice is really buffering, Bilal Bhai. Till then, I'll take the chat. And by but 100 million is too much for a player like Holland. I do agree. I think I disagree a bit with Bilal Bhai here. I think Holland is a very good youngster, but I think straight away is not going to change the team. And I think when you need a bit of short term solution, and I think there are a lot of strikers in the market United can go with. Dusan Vlahovic, I think he's going to cost you around 65 million. And I think Vlahovic as a striker is getting really underrated in the market. You go towards Ivan Toney. Now, Ivan Toney is a massive risk. He is a massive risk with this ban, but I think long term he can do a good job. So for me, United have a lot of options in the market. Now, people are going to say me, I'm an absolute idiot. So am I. I think United should even be looking for a move for Mitrovic. I know I'm going to sound like an idiot, but if you need a short-term solution, I think you can go with a player like Mitrovic. And taking some chats before we move to next news. And big up to Gulshan Bhai. People, is a channel name Just Post. Do go and subscribe. Some great content there. Big up Gulshan Bhai. Thank you so much, Gulshan Bhai. And the only player who deserves 90 to 100 million price tag among the United targets for the striker department. I do agree with that one, DJ Ayush. I fully agree with you, bro, on that one. Like, he's not 100 million worth. He's a very good young striker, Hoyland, but he's not 100 million worth. But again, like, how many players in this market are really worth their price? But that's the way market goes for a young player who can really grow into the future to be one of the top strikers. I think you really need to pay the money. But I think United should be smart and looking for other moves. I think once you get Onana, you've already transferred the goalkeeping department. For me, in striking, Manchester United fans are really forgetting the concern in the centre backs. I respect Lindelof, but Lindelof is a massive downgrade from Varane and Martinez. It's a massive downgrade. So I think people on Manchester United will discuss a lot. We're going to go on next news. A lot of more clubs to cover today. Dusan is a fantastic option. Please keep someone for Chelsea. I do want Dusan at Chelsea. So on the next news, we'll go to Bilal Bhai. And then I'll come to us. And it's a Liverpool news. So he's a Manchester United fan. So it'll be good to hear. The news by David Ornstein. I'll say David Ornstein. Al Ittihad are set to make concrete bid to sign Fabinho from Liverpool for 40 million. Expected to develop in the last one way or other. Key issue for the Liverpool is letting number 6 go without replacement, but working on this. Romeo Lavia among multiple options. So on Fabinho, Bilal Bhai, first of all, your opinion that has he really been sadly washed away as a player now, or is he still has a lot in his locker? Do you think Liverpool should be giving green light to this deal, or do you think letting so many midfielders go, experience go, could be a bit of mistake by Liverpool?
I just don't know about their transfer. I don't know about their overhauling system. If they're trying to overhaul the all the midfield, like their midfield was struggling. Fabinho was one of those midfielders alongside Henderson. They were struggling very much in the last season, and they were not up to the mark as they would want to be. So if they're trying to overhaul that situation, and if they're trying to overcome from that Fabinho's era, Fabinho, Hendo, and Milner era, so I think that would make sense. But eventually in this market, Romeo Lavia has some other attractors as well, and I think Chelsea, I don't know, but there was other clubs as well who were going after Romeo Lavia as well. So I think if it is a 40 million bid and they can sign a replacement in the face of Romeo Lavia and probably any other CDM or probably that kind of a player, so it would be very good deal. And I don't want to I know that I'll be really called a madman, but I think Aurelien Tchouameni would be on the cards after that. I don't know, I don't want to, because Real Madrid eventually have rejected all the offers, an Arsenal offer as well for Aurelien Tchouameni. But we all know Liverpool's interest in Aurelien Tchouameni is very concrete. Every time, the last time as well, when there was a fight between, I guess, there was no bidding war, but there was, like, both were in the race, Real Madrid and Liverpool, and he chose
I think it was more
Real
like
Madrid over Liverpool.
So I think Liverpool offered 70 million and Real went straight away. Perez went and said 80, and
Real
they said we're going to sign. But I fully agree with your opinion, Bilal Bhai, and I think Liverpool, once they let Fabinho and Henderson go, I think you never know, they might go with a very experienced buy, a very top player. And I think Tchouameni is a very underrated player in the market. He's still one of the top young midfielders in the world. So I think he's a fantastic midfielder. But on my opinion on this news, before we go to another Liverpool midfielder, that is Jordan Henderson, I think on Fabinho, I do feel there's still a player in him. I think last season, the guy was exhausted. I think many people forget that Liverpool, for 3 years, played some of the most insane football I've seen any team play. High intensity, high aggression. And in the quadruple run, each player body ran to his limit. And I think Fabinho was the same. The guy was ran to his final breath, the legs and everything. And then finally it caught with him. But I think this rest in the preseason could be good for him. And he's still not that bad player. But on the other hand, with Fabinho, the age is only going to get older. The pace is only going to get slower. And I think he's not a player in Casemiro's range where he can play till the 33, 34. And I think this is why if Liverpool are really getting 40 million, I think they should just cash in. You don't get 40 million in this market for
And
Fabinho.
I think
And if, yeah,
Brazilian and I think Brazilian players are like their age is almost 33, 34, and probably like these kind of players. If we talk about Neymar, Ronaldo, Nazario, and these kind of players, their age is not that. It's probably 33, 34. It's
yeah.
last of their years, and they cannot have that limit of 37, 38-year old guys. So I think that should also make sense for Liverpool to let him go and part ways eventually. A very very good offer, and the next year it would not be this offer if he fails this season, and it would not be the same offer which would come next year as well. So I think that
Hmm.
should make sense for Liverpool. If they want to let him go, they can let him go and find the replacement.
And I think for me, it's the same. I do feel that they should let him go because I think Fabinho is only going to get older. Even if he returns back to a bit of his form, I don't think he'll ever come back to the best form Fabinho was. And I think to be really, really honest with everyone, I think Fabinho for 40 million in this market, you're not going to get money ever again. And when you can sign a player as young, has a player that can grow into the future to be a top player in Romelu Lavia, I think Liverpool should be all over this deal and taking the money and really recouping in the squad. But again, you might have as much money as you want in your hand, but how are you going to re-spend it is a massive point, which Liverpool right now, we have to see what they do in this window. Taking one or two chats before we go to the next news. And this is regarding teams like Leeds, United, Chelsea, Nottingham aren't looking on some underrated players available at cheap rate like Olivier Giroud, Chiesa, Jota. Though they're injured but have great talent, I think Jota will never be sellable, to be honest, Gushan Bhai. Jota is one of the top players in the league. And I think Chiesa is going to stay. Chiesa is a top player. And I think Olivier Giroud will now stay at AC Milan for the rest of his career. So on this one, I disagree, Gushan Bhai, but I understand your comment. But now, going on to the next news, and a massive news now. Again, a Liverpool news, people. So before I go, people who are watching, do hit the like and subscribe if you haven't. And go to FTWB, the channel of Bilal Bhai in the link in the description. And do go and subscribe. There's some fantastic content of Bilal Bhai. He's a Real Madrid fan, Manchester United fan. And the content he provides is fantastic. And coming on to this news, Jordan Henderson has accepted Al Ittifaq proposal. There's verbal agreement in principle, contract agreed. Deal now depends on Liverpool and Al Ittifaq to discussing on the fee. No chance Liverpool will let him go for free. Hendo spoke to Klopp today and there's green light. We all saw today, the news came out before that they will talk to Klopp, and now in the training grounds it looks like the talk has happened. This is by Fabrizio, as you can say, and I think it's very likely looking like he'll leave. But again, Liverpool are not easy negotiators and they will take a very good price. Coming on to Bilal Bhai, like on Jordan Henderson and his performances last season, I think, do you feel Liverpool are doing the right thing to let all this experience go and go with the young players like Lavia, Macallister, signing a Coney or a Thuram in the midfield? Or do you think even if he did not have a very good season, he was still a player they should have kept around? What's your opinion on this, Bilal Bhai?
I think it's time for him to let him go. I think if they would want to make a choice between either letting one of those, I don't know what they would do, but if they were to given a choice between two, and in my opinion, it would have been firstly to keep Fabinho, then Jordan Henderson. I think letting go Jordan Henderson would be good for them, because Jordan Henderson in the last few years have been a bit. I haven't seen him on his level, on his potential, which he used to be in that 2019 year in which Liverpool won the UCL. After that, even he was very good, but in the last 1 or 2 years, he has not been on to that level. Although the leadership quality is unmatchable in him, and he's currently the captain of Liverpool as well. But if they are getting a fee of 50 million for him, and he'll be reuniting with Steve, so I think he'd be okay to go. And if he has given the green light, so Klopp would not want to be the hurdle between the clubs. So eventually, I think this deal will be going through in the next few days. And Liverpool, I think 90 million, 90 to 100 million in these two midfielders, aged midfielders
Hmm.
above 30. Liverpool are doing good. Liverpool can spend big
Hmm.
in the market in the next few
I
days.
think fully agreed. Like I think this is a bit of concern, and I think Liverpool will spend their money in the market if they can get even 60 million combined for both of these players. I don't think Ali Tefak will go more than 20 million. I think that will be ridiculous. I think if they get 60 million for Henderson and Fabinho, I think that's massive money. And taking up the chance here, and Kane is the only player who currently is 25 goals per season in the EPL. He will come and start scoring
Acha,
goals for
acha,
fun.
was the offer for Henderson was 50 million or what?
I'm not sure. Like offer one, I'm not sure. But now, I think I'll discuss on the offer because I'm not sure Bilal Bhai. But I think you should not be more than 30. Bilal Bhai, if he goes for 50, I think that could be one of the most
Yeah, I
ridiculous
think,
transfers.
yeah, I'm talking about the maximum amount
I think
Liverpool can catch up to.
Fabinho figures have come. I think there's no figures still for Henderson, but Fabinho figures are 40.
Acha.
So big
Okay,
up to Sports Freak people.
got it.
Fantastic content. Anurag Bhai, Sports Freak. Do go to Sports Freak and subscribe. Some great channel. And Grushan Bhai took your previous chat. It's a bit in previous in the video, Grushan Bhai. So I took your chat. And now coming on to this one, my opinion on this one. See, for me as a Chelsea fan, even I have a lot of respect for Jordan Henderson. I think he's a very, very underrated player in terms of what he's done for Liverpool. Henderson, Wijnaldum, Fabinho. As a Chelsea fan, they used to give me sleepless night and they used to be making me scared because when you saw this midfield, you thought, nah, no creativity, no dynamism, no nothing. But when you saw them play, there were some fantastic midfielders who used to be physically strong, and Liverpool were only able to play the aggressive football because of these guys. But I think when you play that type of football, the aggressive football Liverpool play is going to catch up with you sometime. The body is going to give up. And I think all these guys have played Gegenpress football for 3 or 4 years. I think their bodies are done now. And it's time for Liverpool to go in the next department. Henderson was very poor last season. I don't really be very, very honest. You cannot even defend their performance last season. And I think if Liverpool can get 60 to 70 million for a Fabinho, for a Jordan Henderson, and they can sign a Romy Lavia or a Thuram, they have signed Macallister, they have so one. I think they deserve massive credit. And Gushan Bhai took that. I know that comment. I've taken that, bro. So on this one, I think this is a fantastic deal for Liverpool. And I'm not going to come with my Chelsea one. I'll only say Saudi and everything. These things are going to continue. There's no point in really campaigning against one club. These are going to happen. They're going to develop their league. Just praise them. They're spending the money to grow their league. And I think Premier League has only done the same, in my opinion. So I think good deal for Liverpool. And if they can sell the both players and sign Lavia and Thuram, I think Liverpool next season with Macallister, I think they're really going to do well in the midfield. So now, coming on to the next news now, and this is about Tottenham Hotspur, a club that's going under the radar after the season they had. And I think Tottenham are doing a very good job so far. Postecoglou can be a very good manager in hindsight, and people might not really rate, oh, who is Postecoglou? But he might do just a fantastic job. And right now, Tottenham as a club are doing a very good job. This is the arrival of Manor Solomon, who played for Fulham last season. A very dynamic player, a player who really like, can score some long ranges. But coming to Bilal Bhai as a Manchester United fan, where there's not even a rivalry with Tottenham, and Tottenham are a club that's really going under the radar. For you, Bilal Bhai, how do you rate their window, signing Biscay as a goalkeeper, Maddison as a cam, and signing Solomon now? And if they keep Harry Kane, what do you think about them and the window they're really having right now, Bilal Bhai?
No, actually, they're having a pretty under radar signing window at this point of time, and they're not going after big names. This is really good for me if they're doing, in my opinion, under the radar signings. Manor Solomon for Fulham was very good in that Fulham team, and I don't have much words to say about Spurs because I won't rate them. Still, I won't rate them in the top four division. If you would talk about that, if in the top four, I won't rate them. I'd still see the till the end of the window just to rate them. What would they do under Postecoglou? I think without Europe, they're without Europe. I guess no Conference League even as well, na? So without Europe, I think they will try to do something interesting in the domestic cups as well. They would want to make their mark in the Premier League this season as well, just to try to come into the top four fight. I think Europa League place with these signings would be decent for Postecoglou, considering that he's been coming from Celtic. He's been a very good manager for Celtic as well. Made them to the Champions League, I guess. He's won them the championship as well. That Irish, I guess, if I'm not wrong. But
Yeah.
he's a really good
What?
manager, under the radar manager. And for the very first time in some years, Tottenham are going after a very under the radar team, and I think this might change something if Daniel Levy just tries to mark himself a bit more not confused and in the transfer market as well. So I think that would be really really good for Tottenham.
And big up to Sumesh Thakur bhai. Bro, Chelsea news is coming later in the video, so do stay tuned, hit the likes, people, and do go and subscribe to FTWB. Taking a bit of chats here, Gushan bhai will end the Liverpool one. I'll discuss some Tottenham. Just taking a bit of chats here. We can buy Jordan Henderson if Joao Felix sells on for 8200, but I don't think you need Gushan bhai for Atletico Madrid. I really don't think you really need that. And I think on Ryan Cherki, I'll just say he's a very creatively good player, bro. He's a very creatively good player. But I think defensively, he's going to be a problem defensively. Like, being very honest, tracking back and defensive attributes are not really good, which I discuss later in the video. And now, coming on to Tottenham and a team that I think are really going under the radar. I think now what Tottenham are really trying to do is the way they should have been going. I'm not even teasing Tottenham in any way. I have a lot of respect for Tottenham. I respect them, not as a rival, but overall I respect them. But since they sacked Pochettino, they went to an identity they're still not used to. Jose, Conte, counter-attacking football, defensively solid. They're not made for it right now. They're a team who plays creative football, nice football, beautiful team to watch. Nobody really notices, and they pull off a surprise between. Pochettino Tottenham used to do well because they were a well-run team, well-run young players, team playing high-pressing football, fighting for the match, playing great football, and everybody just not having any problem with Tottenham. That's the way they should have been going. Tottenham are not a team which are really going to outmuscle Chelsea, United in the transfer market because Levy doesn't spend the money. And this is the way Tottenham should be working. This is the way Tottenham are as a club. We just cannot deny that. And I'll just say one thing. Solomon is a fantastic signing. They already have Kulusevski at the right. They have a player like Son at the left. Richarlison can play from the left. They have Harry Kane, Maddison, and Solomon can play a lot of positions. He can play left wing, he can play right wing. He has a very good shooting from long ranges. And I think Tottenham are really sorting their attack out. They are really signing young dynamic players. And I think next season, if we have an attack for Tottenham Hotspur of James Maddison playing just behind Harry Kane, you have got Son at the left, Kulusevski at the right, Solomon, Richarlison coming from the bench, no European football, attacking football 4-2-3-1 on the front foot. I think this team is going to be a problem. They might lose some games 5-1, 6-1, but they're also going to splash some teams 5-1, 6-1 for me. And that takes me to another Tottenham Hotspur news. And this is regarding Harry Kane. In future, at Tottenham Hotspur, he might be known as Sir Harry Kane. And Tottenham will step up their attempts to keep Harry Kane by offering him a new contract worth over 400k, guys, and by offering him a post-playing career role at the club. Can Harry Kane be the future Tottenham manager? Nobody knows. But this is the reports coming out now. Before I give my opinion, I'll go to Bilal Bhai. Bilal Bhai, we have known for a very long time about Manchester United really trying to buy Harry Kane. But sadly, Daniel Levy is Daniel Levy. He's not allowing him to go. For you, what do you think about this? Like, first of all, I'll ask you two questions in this only. First is, as a Harry Kane, should he try to force his move away? Is it really showing lack of ambition not trying to do that? And the second question, Bilal bhai, the most important, should Tottenham cash in on Harry Kane now, or should they keep him for this season and let him go for free? Bilal bhai.
I think free would never make sense for a Levy kind of a person. It would never make sense for a free transfer for Harry Kane. He would want Harry Kane to stay, and he would want Harry Kane to become a Premier League like Tottenham legend, despite winning trophies, without winning trophies, without winning trophies. But I think 400k per week, I guess he would be becoming the top highest earner in the Premier League with the Kevin De Bruyne. I don't know what is happening with the Levy. I think he should have cashed in this season. I know if he doesn't want to sell to Manchester United, it is good. It is, I think, selling to the competitive club in the top six department. He would not want this to happen. But if an offer from Bayern or PSG comes, if Mbappe leaves in the summer, there are talks regarding PSG that PSG have opened some scenarios that if Mbappe, they've decided to discuss their plan Bs as well if Mbappe leaves. And Harry Kane is that name alongside Vlahovic and other strikers as well. So I think if an offer from PSG or Bayern comes, and Bayern has an offer which has been rejected as well, So I think if that comes, Levy should cash in 110 million. It would be very, very good. He could bring another striker like in the face of Dusan Vlahovic or probably Rasmus Holland. He can overtake that Manchester United. I think enter in the race of this target. So I think splashing some cash on a good striker, a 20-year-old striker, and like Dusan Vlahovic is also 22, 23-year-old, I guess. So a young striker would eventually guarantee more goals as well, despite Kane being very in his prime until now as well. So I think next season he would be doing the same as well. So I think this season should be that one season if he wants to cash in. I think after the 30 age, that 30 mark would eventually mean that there would be no one paying that 100 million fee for him in the next season. So eventually it would be, if he would want to sell him next season, I think he would not go on a free. He would be extending a contract if this doesn't happen, that he will be not be leaving this summer. So I think that would be really, really bad if he goes for 50, 60 million, which would mean that they've earned nothing from him after so many years of service. So I think he should let him go if he wants to. But I think personal ambitions of Harry Kane also matter. If he wants to stay in Tottenham, if he prefers to stay in Tottenham and wants to earn a higher salary rather than winning trophies, so I think that would eventually be his personal ambitions. If he wants to go to Bayern, he'll be guaranteed a trophy every year in his last few
Yeah.
career years. So I think that would make sense if he goes to Bayern or probably PSG. PSG would Liga title would eventually mean something for him as well.
Fully agree with that, Bilal. And people, I'll take some chats, but before I'll give my opinion on Harry Kane, so do hit the likes and do go to subscribe to FTWB. So, guys, on Harry Kane, see, I've been always very honest. He's one of my favorite rival players. For me, I love watching Harry Kane. For me, he's one of the best strikers, one of the most underappreciated striker. Last season, everybody focus was on Haaland, and rightly so. The guy was breaking every record, but Harry Kane had a 30-goal season, and he's not talked about. He has been consistently performing well, and the myth regarding he's always injured, he played mostly each and every game last season for Tottenham. That's how good Harry Kane was, and also playing in the World Cup as well. This is what Harry Kane is. This is what Harry Kane was. The guy is one of the most professional player I've ever seen play for a team. He was denied a move. He still was professional. He came back. He trained and still puts in the best performances. Guys, I never know where Tottenham will be without Harry Kane. I'm being honest. If last season Harry Kane was not there, Tottenham would easily have finished behind Chelsea. Even that's how bad Tottenham were. But Harry Kane is one of the most magical players in striker. The guy can draw back. The guy can play the creative role. He can shoot from 30, 40 yards. He's such a good instinct in the box. He's one of the most reliable finishers in the league. He can score from his left foot, header, right foot. He's a very good penalty taker. I know people will come with me with the World Cup mess. It happens. But on my life, I still always will trust Harry Kane as one of the takers. He's still such a good penalty taker, and bad days can happen with anyone. I think for me, I will caution his ambition a little bit if he doesn't leave Tottenham. But sometimes I understand a lot of players have a bit of affinity with the club, but they don't want to hurt it. If Harry Kane in his life is a person who is satisfied with breaking the Alan Shearer record, being called Sir Harry Kane at Tottenham, I won't blame him as a human being. It's his life, what he wants to do. But yes, he might not go in the elite list of strikers because elite strikers have elite movements, which Harry Kane does not have in his life. And for me, many people call him bottlers. He did not do this in blah blah final. See, you can only do it if you're in more occasions. Like Wayne Rooney was still for me way better striker in his prime than Harry Kane right now because Wayne Rooney was something else. But also he was playing in one of the greatest teams. Didier Drogba is one of the best big game player ever seen, and Kane cannot match him. But also he was playing with Frank Lampard mentality players. When you play in a dressing room where they're happy with finishing fourth, you yourself just cannot change it. You one person cannot change it, and we need to be honest. For me, if Harry Kane wants to leave, I think it will be smart from Harry Kane to stay this year, to really ditch Daniel Levy of any money he can get, go as a legend from Tottenham, get them a top 5, top 6 finish, and go to a next club, get a big contract. And I think if Harry Kane leaves Tottenham Hotspur on a free, all the clubs in the world will be after him. But nobody's going to pay 100 million for a player above 30 years of age. We have to be honest. For me, as a smart person Harry Kane is, Harry Kane should be going in and saying to Daniel Levy, I'm going to stay this year, I'm going to do well for Tottenham, and next year you can do what you want. I am leaving for free. You do not allow me to move to Manchester City, take me 0 penny. And I think that's the way Harry Kane should be treating Tottenham and leave as a legend. And now, taking some comments, guys, and I'm really sorry. I've got Bilal Bhai out of it, so I'll take some comments and then we'll go to the next news, guys. So do with the likes and subscribe. And taking some comments, Shrey Bhai, are they gonna play 4-3-3 with a 5 goal scoring per match mindset with these guys? I think they're gonna do that. I think Gulshan Bhai, for me, Tottenham are really gonna do that. I think this is the new Tottenham. They aren't the same defensive Tottenham under Conte or a Mourinho. I think they're gonna play without fear. I think Tottenham know that everybody expecting them to finish 7th and 8th, and I think that's gonna get the best out of them. And if they can keep Harry Kane, Son, Kulusevski, Richarlison, and Solomon, suddenly Son cannot have a bad season. There's a replacement behind him. And Postecoglou is a very, very good man manager. He isn't going to betray these players. He's going to show them a bit of love, which they sometimes need. And if anyone saw Dele Alli interview today, first of all, big respect to him. I think that shows players need a bit of hug around. It's just not about abusing them, criticizing them, which is not wrong. Manager can criticize them, but sometimes a person needs a pat on the shoulder, and that is what Postecoglou can do. And Christian Pulisic, I'll always say thank you. And one of the what ifs, an Avengers movie, you can say what if Christian Pulisic is a talented guy, but I think this was just a separation needed. He needed to move his career up. Chelsea had Mudryk, Sterling, so it never made sense. But for me, I would always have loved to see Pulisic play as a number 10. And Riyad Mahrez has verbally agreed a contract with Al Hilal, Ali, but I'll say this is by Talksport. So for me, I won't trust Talksport until it comes from a Fabrizio. I'm not really blaming that, bro. And Harry Kane to Chelsea, it's not happening, bro. Daniel Levy will do everything in his life, but he will never sell a player to Chelsea. That's reality. The guy did not allow us to have Modric, and then Roman Abramovich took Willian from him in the last second. The rivalry is bad, it's fire. There could be boxing going on, so I think that's never going to happen. And now, going on to the next news now, big news and another big news now. And this is regarding Tottenham really like Conor Gallagher. This is by Alistair Gold from Sports Extra.
I think it's a 50 million offer they might be giving for it.
So first, taking a bit of rival opinion here before I give my opinion. And as a rival, Bilal bhai, first of all, do you really understand why they're going for Conor Gallagher? And if they pay 50 million, what's your opinion on that, Bilal bhai?
Yeah, I would eventually say it's maze for you guys. You guys are getting 150 million almost, I guess, for so many of your midfielders. Like Kovac is I think in the next 1 or 2 years he might be in his decline. Mason Mount 65 million, 30 million for, I guess, that Kovacic, and I guess you have sold one of your midfielders as well.
65 for Havertz, 55 for Mount, 25
65
for
for
Kovacic.
Havertz, and Ruben Loftus-Cheek, I guess he's been on a free
15 million Ruben Loftus-Cheek.
Just imagine you've got 150 million from these guys. These were your liabilities. I guess the last season they were not. They are not in the plans of Pochettino as well in this season. Let's say that way. But eventually 150 million from them, these guys, is very, very good for you guys, and you might even want to sit down on 55-60 million, but this is Tottenham who would be paying 50 million, and you guys might demand 60 million probably, and 55 million plus add-ons. That would be eventually really, really good. That 5 to 10 million for you guys would matter a lot if you want to spend big in the market, because Chelsea at this point of time are just linked with Caicedo. They are saying that Caicedo will be a Chelsea player in the next few days. Caicedo is coming 75-80 million bid, but Brighton at this point of time are saying that
I think for me, Bilal
will not be satisfied.
FC. It's like news that's coming out before I give my opinion on Conor Gallagher and go back to Bilal bhai. It's 48 RFC, 24 RFC, 72 RFC, monitoring FC. So I really don't know when it's going to happen, Bilal bhai. But Bilal bhai, I go back to you because
you guys, Chelsea.
Yeah, go on, Bilal bhai.
Chelsea at this point of time are like saying, Chelsea at this point of time are like they're selling all their players and not bringing more players at this point of time. So there's just, I guess, 1.5 months left in this transfer market, and your preseason will be starting as well, and eventually the season would be starting as well on 10 to 11 August, I guess, probably in the mid of August. So that would mean a lot if you want to gel up your team, if you want to bring those signings for your manager Pochettino. You'd want to make sure that the signings are there, and they're before the start of the season they're gelled up together to play more, even really, really good as a united team. They'll play if you want to gel up them perfectly. So for that you need to do signings quickly, unlike United, the way the United does signings, 1 month, 2 months, spend it in the scouting and this and that, and then you'll go for 50 million bid and that stuff like that. You should act as Chelsea and act quickly as possible, because there aren't many midfielders in the market at this point of time. I know there's
Yeah.
much depth in Chelsea at this point of time. Chelsea have signed so many players in the last year as well, in the last year or two.
Hmm.
So I think good signings are necessary at this point of time in the face of Caicedo,
Yeah.
who will not be coming. Let's be honest, he'll not be coming without a fee of 95 million at this point of time, because
Hmm.
Brighton have made it clear that we will be wanting a 100 million fee, because we have seen Declan Rice go for a 105 million record fee for an
105.
Englishman. So I think
Very good point, Bilal bhai.
that would
Very good point. And I think this is why I think people, as much as many people are stunned with the Conor Gallagher prize, and oh my God, Conor Gallagher cannot be 50 million. See, Conor Gallagher, for me, first of all, I'll always say I admire him, I respect him in terms of the professionalism, because the guy fights and loves Chelsea. See, I cannot deny that. He loves Chelsea. His professionalism is always
you never
great.
deny the
And
fact.
one
Yeah.
thing I'll never say bad about the boy is I think he gives everything for Chelsea. When I see Conor Gallagher, I can criticize him, but I will never say he did not fight for the shirt. And this is why I love Conor in terms of as a human being. He's a very, very good person and a very good player in that regards. For me, I will have no problem in keeping Conor Gallagher, because I think people might not agree with me on this, but I think Pochettino needs one type of player that's going to run around and be the presser, because we don't have that in the team right now. I think Mason was better as a footballer than Conor Gallagher, but because he's gone, we need someone in that mold. But I think, being very honest, as a person, as overall, as even as much as I respect Conor Gallagher, you cannot deny a 50 million offer for a player who is still technically very deficient. Like for me, Pochettino might only improve him technically, but technically are some skills which you cannot improve even in a whole lifetime. The passing, the decision to where to pass, the quick decision of creativity. I don't think Connor really has that. Connor is a player that under Patrick Vieira's system was played more near to the attackers, whose role was to press the opponents and score in the tap ends, score in a bit of goals in between. And I think that's what Conor Gallagher suits in. I think Conor Gallagher can be a very good player in the future as a shadow striker, but I never see him as a player who can play as a number 8 or a number 6. That's a bit of problem with Conor Gallagher. And I think he's not a true winger as well, because it does not have the dribbling in him. And I think this is the reason for me. If you get 50 million for him, you cannot deny that. Like, being very honest, even from Tottenham, you cannot refuse 50 million. But I think, to be really honest, I don't think Tottenham will pay 50. And I think if we don't get for 40, we should not sell him, because I'm very confident that even in the future, if we want to sell him, there will be some English club that could pay us 40 million. And if Poch wants to keep him for a season, then I will give him the time. Big up to Sumesh Bhai. I'll say just one thing about Sumesh Bhai. And Sumesh Bhai, we should let him go for 50 million. Conor Gallagher, also Chaloba. For me, I will say I really love Chaloba, and bro, won't want Chaloba to go. But I do agree with you on the 50 million one. If you get the 50 million, you just cannot say no. If you're saying no, that's very idiotic, because that is some insane money. That is just like going to Manchester United, and as much as you admire Elanga, saying they're giving you 50 million for Elanga, you just cannot refuse it. Like, you get that money, you put it in your pocket, and you go and sign a player like a Lavia or a Caicedo immediately. That's the way for me Chelsea should go. But if we use a 50 million of Conor Gallagher and sign another Bakayoko, then I'll not have the deal. So we need to be honest in that regards. And Bilal Bhai has to go in 5 to 10 minutes. So we'll quickly go on to the next news now. Another Chelsea news now. And this is the Arsenal news now. That was more like a Spurs news. So another rival news for Bilal Bhai. Arsenal are hopeful of announcing the transfer of Julian Timber on Friday. The club had wanted to fly Timber out to Germany to face Nuremberg today, but a small contract issue meant it didn't work out. Timber has already done his in-house media, and hopefully it's not going to leak like the Harvest fans. So Arsenal media team need to be careful. But now coming to Bilal Bhai on Timber, like you guys, Manchester United wanted him before Martinez, but once you got Martinez, you had Varane. You did not need to go for Timber. But overall, has your humble opinion for a player like Timber? How do you think it really helps Arsenal? And do you really think this is a good deal for Arsenal in the future, considering they have Saliba, Gabriel? Is he a good competition and depth to have?
Yeah, I think he's really a good competition to have. He can play as a right back as well. Let me clear this point as well. He can play as a right back as well. When United were in the links with Julian Timber, I just saw his positioning as well. So he was playing as a centre back as well. He can play as a right back as well, and he can play in a back three system as well. I think Arteta would never play a back three system at this point of time. So I think Timber for Arsenal is a very, very good deal and a very good competition to Saliba and Gabriel. And even if one of them gets injured, they would not want to go back to, I think, I just forgot that name of that player. I think Holding. They
Hmm.
would not want to go to Holding. They will eventually try Hurrien Timber, and he might also start in some games as well. And I think 50 million for him is good option. And United to Hurrien Timber to United collapsed because Louis Van Gaal told him that you would not be getting game time in the face of Maguire, even though Eric Ten Hag guaranteed him playing time, that Harry Maguire would not be playing as much as you will be playing, and even Lindelof would not be playing. You'd be a starter, but he went on to that I need to go to the World Cup squad, and I would want my first team guaranteed. So I think that is why he stayed in Ajax. And at this point of time, even if United wanted to go for him, I think it would have been a good option again for the backup options. Like if Harry Maguire leaves, I don't think so. This guy Harry Maguire will leave at this point because he does not wants to leave. Just there are reports, even though there are reports that Eric Ten Hag has told him that you will have to go. If you don't have to go, you'll have to sit on the bench, and your captaincy armband will also be abolished. It will be given to probably like Bruno Fernandes. And I think I've got on to Manchester United at this point of time, so I think I need to come back to Arsenal. So Hurrien Timber, I think, to Arsenal is a good deal, and there were reports that Hurrien Timber deal and Declan Rice deal would be finalized by the club on last Friday, and it is this Friday. They haven't completed the deal, and yes, I even read the report that Arsenal would want to include him in the preseason tour for today's game, I guess.
Hmm.
So today's, or I guess tomorrow game, I don't know. I haven't
No, I
followed
think
Arsenal
today's
at
game
this.
is not possible. So I think, but
Ha, that is
overall,
why. That is why. Ha. But
but
he's a good
now,
defender. He's a good player, I think.
hmm. But now coming on my opinion for Julian Timber and people, for me, I fully agree with Sumesh Bhai's comment here. Fully agree with this one. I am a little bit concerned by the work Arsenal has done in this window. They've concerned all of the weak areas. Now they have backup of all important places. Apart from City, other big clubs should worry somewhat. Fully agreed. I think City should be worried because for me, Sumesh Bhai, I really don't know, by being very honest, because City have done the treble. And I know people will say you will be eager to say that they have motivation again. Pep is the manager, but there's a limit to a motivation. Like they have put everything. Like how much can they keep being motivated? It's gonna be something stunning if they do the quadruple. Like that's gonna be something unheard of. I think at some point there's gonna be a bit of drop off. Gundogan is going, Riyadh might go, Bernardo might go, and then suddenly a new squad. How quickly they can gel. Last year the squad was still the same. They have completed the dream of winning the Champions League. Will they have the same desire in them? I really don't know. And I think Arsenal have a massive chance this season. And I fully agree with you. For me, I'll again and again say if Arsenal let go of Thomas Partey, then they're back to square one again. But I think if they can keep Thomas Partey, they have Declan Rice there, they have Jorginho, and then go with the centre backs of Ben White, who is a right back right now but can play centre back, Gabriel, Saliba. They have player like Timber right now. Tomiyasu is there with Ben White at the right back. They have Zinchenko and Tierney fighting at the left back. I think even Timber can sometimes play at the right back. You've got goalkeeper in Ramsdale. You have got players like Martinelli at the left with Trossard fighting. Saka and Havertz can even play at the right wing. You've also got the option of going with Odegaard or Havertz for some game to rest Odegaard. And then you've got Gabriel Jesus and Nketiah. And Kai Havertz can provide you flexibility to play a 3-2-4-1 formation, playing both Havertz and Odegaard for some games against low block teams. I think Arsenal are doing a very good job this window, and I think they're going to be a danger. They have already extended the contract of Martinelli, Saka, and Saliba. Previous Arsenal teams will never do that. This Arsenal team is signing players, they're keeping players, and I think that really worries me about Arsenal. And now, the last news in terms of Bilal Bhai, I'll continue the video because Bilal Bhai has to go. Now, this is about Mauricio Pochettino keen to have a homegrown core, and there's some names that we have to talk about. Luis James, we all know he's going to stay as a future Chelsea captain, but Armando Broja, but Levy Colville and Conor Gallagher. What's your opinion, Bilal Bhai, on this, and how do you see Chelsea moving under Mauricio Pochettino?
I've read news about Levy Colville. I guess Noni Madueke himself said that I will try to bring Levy Colville with me at Chelsea this season. And I think Liverpool are even monitoring Levy Colville at this point of time. Klopp is a great admirer of him. So I think keeping Levy Colville, seeing his performance in the under 21 Euros, he's been very, very solid in the backline. So I think He's a very, very good player for Chelsea, and I think building a core. Like honestly, the La Masia and these kind of academy graduates like Manchester United as well. In the face of Marcus Rashford, La Masia, we have seen so many greatest talents in the world coming out from La Masia, like Iniesta, Xavi, and Pedri, Gavi, and stuff like that. These guys. So I think Chelsea would eventually want to make a core team of Chelsea graduates. So eventually that would be beneficial for Chelsea in the long run, because they would know the passion to play for the badge. They would respect the badge and they would fight for the badge. They would give their hearts out of the for the badge, and eventually it would be good for Chelsea in the long term. Even if it doesn't pays off in the first 1 or 2 seasons, I think in the long run it would be very good for them.
Fully agree with that, Bilal bhai, and that was very, very good opinion. Fully agree with that one. And people, Bilal bhai has to go, but as always, Bilal bhai is a massive part of the channel. Thank you, Bilal bhai, again to come here. It was an absolute pleasure. People, the Bilal bhai channel link is in the description. FTWB. Please go there and subscribe. Bilal bhai puts on some fantastic content, and he's a very, very good opinions. He has got all the knowledge, so do go there. Bilal bhai, your final thoughts before you go?
So thank you so much for inviting me, and subscribe to his channel first, and then if you get some time, do subscribe to my channel as well. I'm returning back. I always say that I'm returning back, but I don't become I become inconsistent. But this time I'd be consistent, and I'm going. That is why, because I have to record a video for Al Nasser, and Al Nasser ban. I'll be explaining that as well. So I think I'll be uploading that on in the morning. I think on 12 p.m. IST. So I guess you should look on to this that video as well. So thank you so much, Shrebai, and it was great to discuss with you. And I'll be calling you as well on my channel when I'll
Absolute
be
pleasure, bro.
trying
Always
to do
there.
more live streams. Thank you.
Thank you, Bilal bhai. Absolute pleasure. And guys, we'll continue with the news now. And as you can see, Mauricio Pochettino is keen to have a homegrown core to his team with Reece James, Livy Colvin, and Mando Broha, Conor Gallagher among those to benefit. Now, guys, coming on to this one, I think I've been telling you for a long time. I've been a person in the Chelsea, more like Indian community, who has been wanting Mauricio Pochettino to be at this club for a very long time. I've been bashed. I've been said that Pochettino is Spurs link, but I've always said that I don't care about the Spurs link. I care about the quality of manager. And Pochettino is one of the best young managers in the world. He can develop the youngsters. He can play some good football. And guys, I fully admire and respect Pochettino. Pochettino is the best manager there is for Chelsea. And I've been telling you people for a long time that Chelsea with his young squad, Poch is the best guy to manage it, not Enrique, not Nagels, and he's the best guy to manage it. And guys, I already told you the young players' future is very, very secure with Mauricio Pochettino. You can see here, Poch is very keen to grow a Chelsea homegrown core, which he also had at Tottenham. And I think he's going to love Livy Colville. Livy Colville is the type of player Poch is absolutely going to love and keep him. I think Reece James is the player who can really develop under Pochettino. He's the guy who's going to give players a bit of shoulder and a bit of love, which players need a bit of support. And I think Armando Broja is a player who's coming back after injury. And if there's a manager which can really manage him well, his minutes, his desire, his confidence, I think that is Mauricio Pochettino. And Conor Gallagher, I think Conor Gallagher can be, I know people are not going to like it, but Conor Gallagher can be a good part of Pochettino's system. Mason has gone. I think Poch system will require a player like that. And I think Conor can do a good job under Pochettino. And I think if there's a manager who can improve Pochettino, not playing out of position, improve some of his technicality, I think that is really is Pochettino. He's known to develop players. And I'm very confident he can develop Conor Gallagher, increase his confidence, and really increase some of his deficiencies. And now, people, going on to the next Chelsea news, guys. I'm live for you all. I love to discuss Chelsea news, guys, and all the other clubs' news. Please do hit the like and subscribe. It really, really means a lot to me, guys. And coming on to the next news, this is regarding Paul Stanley, and I had a video today about it as well. Paul Stanley is trying to push a plan and reach a consensus with other directors to move on for Ivan Toney in January. Sources close to the player confirmed that Stanley has been speaking to them since May, and it's his direct plan, and Toney will be open to a move. See, guys, I'll always say you one thing. I'm really in love with the new sporting directors. They're really running the club well. I think many people have been bashing them for letting Mount go and all that stuff, but the reasons they had were fine. They did not agree with some of Mason's technical quality, and for them, if they did not want to offer him the big wages, they're already improving the wage structures. A lot of big players are going. The wage structure is now more incentive based, and I think I'm loving the work they're doing right now. I know people are not really loving it because their mentality is that Chelsea is a big club. We should be signing the best players in the market. I do understand that, but this is a different Chelsea. This is a more data-driven approach, Chelsea, and we need to embrace it, people. And Paul Stanley for me is understandably going for Ivan Toney. You've already bought Nicholas Jackson. You've brought players like Armando Broja, and I think you want to go for a player which is more experienced in the Premier League. So I can understand that. But people, for me, Chelsea should either go for a striker like Dusan Vlahovic, or we should just go for no one. Being very, very honest, people, there's no sense in signing Ivan Toney. I really love Ivan Toney. For me, if Ivan Toney was not banned, I would have wanted Chelsea to pay the 65, 70 million Brentford will ask because I rate him very highly. But guys, we need to be very honest with ourselves. He is coming after a ban. He does not even have a match fitness. This could be a very risky signing. Guys, you just feel for 1 second you're out of a job for 7 or 8 months. You have not even been allowed to train for a job. Are you really going to trust that person to come in the job and do well? You're not going to trust that. Ivan Toney, if he was not banned, would have been the best striker in the market to sign. But because Ivan Toney has been banned, he cannot play football for 7 months. Nobody knows how he's going to come back, how much is going to take Chelsea time to get him fit. So, guys, even if we sign him in January, we can only get him match fit till March or April. And I think, being very, very honest, the season is already over. And why are we signing a player for next season when a Jackson might develop, when a Broja might develop? So either we should fully go for Vlahovic. I fully agree with Aiton Bro here. Either we should fully go for Vlahovic, or we should just trust Nicholas Jackson and Armando Broja. I love Ivan Toney, but why are we signing a player who is going to work for us next season? Ivan Toney is not a 19-year-old youngster. He's not a 20-year-old youngster. Ivan Toney is an experienced player who is going to come for 60, 50 million pounds and is only going to be available in 2024 June or July. That's ridiculous. That is ridiculous. I do understand why Paul Stanley wants him, but I think we should not be going for this move. I think we should be going for a current player like Vlahovic, or we should be trusting Jackson and Broja, and I think that's the way Chelsea should be going. As much as Ivan Toney is a great striker, experienced Premier League striker, being out of football for 7 months is massive, people. We should not take that away. Being out of footballing world for 7 months is a massive, massive problem, people. And now, going on to the next news, people, please, people, do subscribe. It really means a lot, and do like the video. And now, for me, I forgot to put something on this. I apologize, people. And Chelsea remain confident of signing Moses Caicedo. Brighton are said to be willing to accept an offer in the region of 80 million. Chelsea want to structure a deal so they do not have to pay the sum in a one-off fee. This is by way, somewhat reliable, I'll say, Bobby Vincent. And I've been telling you for a long time, Brighton want the money in the region of 80 or 100 million, or they want massive money upfront because of the Declan Rice deal that has just happened. And they're not wrong. Caicedo was one of the better performers even than Declan Rice last season. And if Declan is going for 100 million, they will want at least 80 million for the asset. So I do not blame Brighton. They are being smart businessmen. And I think Chelsea will have to somehow iron it out. I think Brighton are really making it tough for us to negotiate because they want Levy Colwill and Chelsea are not selling them. But being very honest, Brighton are smart businessmen and they will never ever deny the profit they can make. And I think Brighton will agree to 80, 90 million pound structure. It's just about Chelsea putting it like paying more money upfront, and I think the deal will be agreed. And I think, people, this is going to drag for a week or two, but Caicedo is going to be Chelsea player. I'm a bit worried that if Liverpool lose Fabinho and Henderson, they might not come for Caicedo, and this is why Chelsea need to be very alert and do the deal early. If Liverpool get 40 million for Henderson, 40 for Fabinho, they are signing Caicedo. They are signing Caicedo. And I think this is why we need to be very aware. And if Arsenal lose Thomas Partey to Saudi for 50 million, they are coming for Caicedo. So Chelsea need to be very aware, and Chelsea need to get this deal done very early. Taking comment here, and fully agree with this one. Even Nkunku can play false 9. We already have 3 options. So why Ivan Toney, and that too in January? Fully agreed, bro. And really sorry, bro. I forgot to take this comment, bro. Really, really sorry. Levy Colwill, listening to recent news, I'm a little concerned. We can assure him in time on the pitch. But I think for me, Sumesh, bro, I really feel Poch will make him agree. I really, really feel Poch will make him agree. And I think he'll understand that Poch is a different manager than Tuchel. I love Tommy Tuchel to bits, but Thomas Tuchel did not treat Colwill well. When a player comes in pre-season and you're going for more defenders and not giving him chance, he will feel sad. And this is why I think Poch can be a manager that can really convince him. And Brighton is really pissing me off. I think, for me, Sumesh, bro, being very honest, we've allowed them to piss us off. I think the way we have dealt with Brighton, the way we have been easy negotiating with them, I think we have our own mistake in that, bro. But hopefully we have learned, and hopefully for me, this is the last proper deal we're doing with them. Now it's time for us to find our own assets and not rely on Brighton. And thank you, brother, so much to join. It really means a lot. Good to see you back, bro. And Nkuku falls 9. No, thank you. I think for me, I do agree with that one a bit, Ethan, bro. I think Nkuku for me is not an actual 9. But I think for me, bro, I think Chelsea should be going all in for Vlahovic and Nkuku playing behind Vlahovic with a Mudryk or a Sterling and Madueke. And Vlahovic is a very good player with good hold-up play who can really finish well. I think that is an attack for me, Ethan, bro. Chelsea should be going with. And my final opinion, people, on Moses Caicedo. I think Moses Caicedo fits Chelsea like a glue. I think Moses Caicedo is the best player right now in the market for Chelsea to sign. I really don't think there's any player right now better than him, people, to fit us. I think Moses Caicedo is a player who really fits in nicely with Enzo. Their communication can be really good. Moses Caicedo allows Enzo Fernandez the freedom to attack so he can defend the transitions. Moses Caicedo is a player who is very good with his feet as well and can help the team to play from the back. He can win the ball back and give to Enzo. And people have been telling you for a long time that Enzo Fernandez last season in some matches, he averaged around 6 long balls per game. Now just think, if Enzo Fernandez is allowed to play near to the attackers, he does not have to think to be a DM. I think we are unleashing Enzo at his best. And that can only happen with the Caicedo and Caicedo doing the defensive work, which you don't want Enzo to do. And I think Caicedo and Enzo, the creative and defensive masterclass they're going to put every week, I think this is the best pairing we have got. And then you've got a young Caicedo, you've got Chukwuemeka, you've got Andre Santos. I think that is Chelsea midfield set for years. And I think even if it's 70, 80 million, pay it and get the deal done. You cannot wait for Liverpool to come in for him. You cannot wait for Arsenal to come in for him. For me, Chelsea and Brighton have good relationship. Pay the money, make the structure better, and get it done. Because Brighton will only increase it if they don't get Colwill. And we are going to keep Colwill. Brighton are trying to piss us off. We need to pay them the money, not haggle over 5 million, and get it done for me. It's about 5 or 10 million between the clubs. Chelsea can pay that. Get the deal done. Give the manager Caicedo in pre-season. Let him build the understanding in the team. And then we can move on for next season. Now, going on to another one, and this is about Cherki. Chelsea are leading AC Milan in the race for the signing of Lyon winger Ryan Cherki, with the Blues now in direct club-to-club talks over the transfer. Lyon are asking for close around 50 million. Chelsea feel a deal could be done for around 40 million. This is by caught offside. Now, I really don't know, people, how reliable this source is, being very, very honest with you all. But people, I'll say just one thing, being very honest. See, I've watched Ryan Cherki, but I've not watched Ryan Cherki a lot where I can say I'm a tactical masterclass on him or information. I don't have that. But I think he's a very, very good young player who is attackingly really, really good. But defensively, he's still very, very raw. But I think if there's a manager who can improve him, a team where he does not have the pressure to straight away do well, that's Chelsea right now. The expectations are at all-time low. It's a very young squad. And I think Ryan Cherki can make more sense for Chelsea than go for Gabriel Vieira. But again, I think I love to have Ryan Cherki, but we need to see how many players we have got. We have Nkuku, Chukwuemeka, Conor Gallagher, who can play in the attacking role. We already have Mudryk. We have Sterling, who can play on the left wing. I think, being very honest, as much as I really admire Ryan Cherki, until a Conor Gallagher leaves, I think it really doesn't make sense to pay that money for him. We cannot keep on stockpiling youngsters. We cannot destroy their futures. We also need to buy youngsters who we can develop, we can play. And if they then don't work, we sell them. So this is why, for me, Chelsea need to be careful. Baga bro, Harry Kane does want to leave, but I think Daniel Levy is being a hard negotiator, and Tottenham have just offered him 400k and a position in the future to be something at club where he can stay at Tottenham Hotspur. And now, coming on to the final news today, this is by Trevor Chalobah. And people, this is coming that Trevor Chalobah will love to stay at Chelsea. He loves the club and he's having good time in pre-season, but he wants to be the regular in the team because he wants to be the part of the Euro 2024 team. So it's very understandable as a human being. You want to represent England in the Euro. It's a big dream for a youngster. So it's very, very understandable that why Trevor Chalobah will want to move away. For me, I'll always say that Trevor Chalobah is one of the most disrespected Chelsea youth players we've got in a team. He is a very, very good centre-back, a very reliable centre-back. For last season, in the last 3 or 4 games, he played a really, really good performance as a right back. He is a centre-back who is very reliable. He gives you 6 out of 10, 7 out of 10 display every week. He might not be your 9 out of 10, 10 out of 10. He might not be at his best at a level of Levy Colwill, but he's still a very good squad player to have. And I think letting Trevor Chalobah go will be a massive mistake. You will only find a player like Trevor Chalobah in the market for 60, 70 million. And I think that will be ridiculous for Chelsea. For me, we should keep Trevor Chalobah. Thiago Silva is getting old. It's time to rotate the squad. And I feel Chelsea should be keeping Trevor Chalobah. So people, do put your opinion. Today we discuss about Fabinho, Henderson going to Saudi, and Liverpool potentially using the money on Lavia Caicedo. Chelsea need to be wary. Onana going to Manchester United and transforming Manchester United. You've got Tottenham Hotspur signing Solomon, a player who can play both on left wing, right wing. A very good young player who can shoot from long. And then you've got Harry Kane, who might stay at Tottenham but run down his contract. You've got Bayern Munich interested in him, but the money they want is absolutely insane for a player 1 year out of his contract. And then you've got the news coming out of Chelsea, Ryan Cherki, Caicedo deal closing in. So people, it's an exciting window. I'll always give you update, people. Please, really, it means a lot if you support me. Do hit the likes and subscribe. I don't want much. I just want to love. I just want a feedback. And I just want a bit of a support, people. It really means a lot to me. You guys are the ones I've got. And for me, it's just about building a community here. So do that. And even if you like or not, I hope you have a great day. And thank you, everyone. Taking last comment now. So you don't be trusting Kepa again. I fully agree, Sumesh bro. I fully agree. For me, even I don't agree with that. But bro, if you ask me, spending 80 million on Caicedo or spending 80 on Onana, I'll choose Caicedo. I really don't know the transfer fund Chelsea have got. For me, my dream window will be signing a Onana, signing a midfielder like Caicedo. For me, that is my dream window with a striker. My dream window is a Vlahovic, is a Onana, and then is Caicedo. But I don't know what the funds Chelsea have got. But if they don't have funds or they don't think this goalkeeper is right, then I think wait for a year. For me, Sumesh bhai, I don't think we are finishing top 4 next season. And this is why, for me, if we want to find a future goalkeeper, develop Slonina, see in the market and wait. I don't want Chelsea to make a rush decision like we did with Kepa. Courtois went a wall. Marina, ma'am, immediately went and took the wrong decision, and we had to pay for it. And before I end, I'll say I respect Kepa, but as a goalkeeper in terms of playing for the top teams, he does not have attributes like that. He's good with his feet, but some of his shot stopping is still very doubtful. So on that note, people, I do go to Bilal Bhai's channel, subscribe. He came on this channel, great person and great person with opinions. Please subscribe to my channel, and the biggest thing, like and always participate, people. Your support means a lot, and the support keeps me going. Thank you so much, everyone, to join the chat. I'll really give everyone a shout out. Thank you so much, bhai. Your support means a lot. Big up to Baga bhai, big up my bro, big up Ethan bro. Really thank you, bro, to join the chat. It really means a lot to me. And big up to Gurushan bhai. He's got Just Sports channel. Do go and subscribe. Big up to Ayush bhai. And big up to Sports Free. Go to his channel and subscribe as well. So thank you, everyone. Hope you all have a great day. Thank you, and wishing the